Oh my god. I am boiling, and I have elected to film a video inside under a fluorescent light. I like to consider myself a fairly intelligent person. This doesn't seem like the cleverest thing to do right now. So I had planned to film a video for you guys outside, but it's glorious weather here in Wales at the moment, but the wind is really, really strong. And I'm not talking about in me, I'm talking about the wind outside. And so my microphone on this camera wouldn't have picked up my voice. It would have been a whole lot of like... By the way, I make excellent wind noises with my mouth. You can tell I'm ever so slightly out of practice at this, can't you? It's been a long time, guys. I last released a video, I think, back in May. Apologies for the absence. Basically, what's happening in my life is I'm working a lot. When I'm not working, I'm dealing with like house stuff and moving and just things to do. There are lots of things to do, stuff you don't even realise you need to do, it's got to be done, as well as all the normal stuff. And you can tell from this video that I haven't moved yet. Still in my very beige bedroom because I have nowhere else to film right now, and still here, but fine. We have got a date now to move, which is positive, but we'll get onto that in a whole other video. This video today is my everything bookish video for June and July, and it's going to be slightly different to the other ones because, well, basically I found myself with I bought a bunch of books. You can't see them, I'm looking at them. But I bought a big pile of books, and I've read a pile of books as well, which has been something that hasn't been happening this year so far. So I've been in a bit of a slump, but perhaps my slump is over. My slump runneth over. Oh god, that sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Anyway, so this everything bookish video, because I like the everything bookish videos, I like having it all in one go, is going to be brief. He says rambling on, but I promise you it's going to be brief because I'm actually going to do a book haul video and a wrap-up video as per everybody else on YouTube and Booktube and what they do and what I used to do when there was lots of reading and buying books happening, because that slowed down because of all the house stuff. So really, really briefly, I'm going to talk you through these piles of books, starting with what I read in June and July of 2019. I'm going to very gracefully reach over and pull up this bad boy first. This is Monsters of Men by Patrick Ness, the third and final part of the trilogy, the Chaos Walking trilogy. And in brief, I flippin' loved it. I loved it. It was epic. It was dark. There was a lot of, well, shocks. There were some shocks, and I just found myself pulled along on this journey thinking, oh my god, this is going to make a great film. And I really, really hope that all you cinema goers go and see the first part of the trilogy and that it actually does get made, because I know that it's being made now, but I don't know whether they're making the whole trilogy. But really, really, really good YA, like really good YA. It's up there with like how I feel about His Dark Materials. I think it's such a clever story and how with engaging characters, and I really, really enjoyed it. So finished that, loved it. Oh, then I went on to this. I know I've talked about this before. It doesn't have its little nice little jackety thing, which pains me, but this is Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith. This is the third Cormoran Strike detective novel, and this one is it's a good one. It's a good one, guys. It's got dark. It gets very personal. Robin, who's the partner, Cormoran Strike's partner in the firm, gets sent a severed leg in the post, as one does often on a Tuesday, and it sparks this whole mystery into a serial killer, and the Strike novels haven't really dealt with a serial killer before of this magnitude. And I will say, I read it so quickly and I really, really liked it. Some of the standout things for me were was Cormoran and Robin's relationship ever expanding, ever moving forward, and ever getting just deeper and more complex, and just fantastic, fantastic reading. I love them both. So in this book, which is different to the first two, there are passages written from the serial killer's perspective, and I'm not going to lie to you, a couple of those things, those passages, genuinely scared me. I was in bed thinking, oh my Christ, I'm gonna have nightmares now because this is horrible, horrible, but in such a good way, and I loved it. And the reason I read this next was because I was desperate to get onto Lethal White, which is the newest, the most recent. Bought this ages ago, and it's been looking at me from my bookshelf, and I was like, no, I know I've watched the Career of Evil programme, but I want to read it and learn everything I can before I get to Lethal White. This is a beast of a book, massive, massive Bible, but it was brill. I really enjoyed this too, surprise, surprise. Cormoran and Robin. Oh, it starts, no spoilers, but it starts at the wedding. You know what I'm talking about if you've read this. And that didn't disappoint. Oh my God, the level, the human relationships in this book are brilliant and so well observed. And I love that Robin's mind is just so fine-tuned to people and life. I really, really enjoyed myself. Again, I read it quite quickly considering it's such a big... Oh, the door blew open. I read it quite quickly considering that it's such a big book, but I just loved it. I just loved it. I went to shut the door. I wonder if you could tell in the edit. Or there was some master trickery and you wouldn't know. Loved it. And I just... The crime in this, I followed really easily. The names and the people all just meshed in my head in a good way. And I understood who everybody was. Sometimes in crime novels, there's so many new people and suspects and surnames, people that I get a bit lost. This one, it didn't happen. Everyone stood out for me, and I'm so glad they're making it into a 4-part TV programme because this book deserves that much time. And I can't wait for the next one, and I have no idea when that's going to be. So I have to just, I don't know, wish that lots of other thrillers come my way. Please point me in the direction of some really good crime thrillers, guys. I have some in my pile. Spoilers. And then, oh, speaking of crimes and thrillers, I am currently reading Stone Cold Heart, which is something that I bought this month too. There's a bit of a story coming up about that, so I'll leave that to that moment. I am currently reading Stone Cold Heart by Frear, and I read the first Kat Kinsella novel, not last year, it was the year before now, and really, really enjoyed it. Just got sucked into this crime that's happening across a long period of time. So I'm currently reading it, so obviously I don't know how it turns out yet. I don't have that many pages left. Probably less than 100 pages left. Read it incredibly quickly, less than a week so far. Can't put it down really because Kat Kinsella, who is our detective, is just really engaging as a character and written really well, and you get her personality through so quickly, and her opinions are so succinctly given to us that it's you feel like you know her and you want her to be in your life. But at the same time, she's surrounded by, well, all this crime, which isn't great. But the mystery of the novel is keeping me really engaged actually at the moment. I don't know who done it. I have a theory. I do have a theory. I'm not going to voice it here, but I have a theory, and I'm hoping that I am right, because I'm always trying to add it up. But what has struck me so far about this novel, really briefly, is that the cast of characters around Kat, who have continued from the first book, have really grown on me. Like they're in it sort of in small parts, some of them more than others, but I like this big cast of characters being sort of taken with us through these detective novels, and that I enjoy. I really enjoy, and some of them are leaping off the page. Kat's boss, I have to try and find it for you because she had this quote and I just thought, oh my God, I love you. Her name is Steele. She's the head of the detectives. The head of the detectives in the police station. I can't remember the actual her actual title, but she says something. I could have sworn it was on around page 214. Faithful viewers, could be wrong. 212. Here it is. Here it is. She just she's really sarcastic, is Steele, and she says this line, and I actually laughed out loud. She just goes, "Which is about as helpful as tits on a fish." And I've never heard that before, but one is going to bring tits on a fish into one's vocabulary. Thank you, Kaz. Enjoying that. I enjoyed that immensely, and I'm really enjoying reading it, and I will finish it, and I will let you know my verdict. Now, those are the books that I've read and am currently reading. let's wipe the sweat off my face because it's awfully warm, people. And we're going to show you really briefly, what books I bought. The first book I bought is called The Trees. It's by Ali Shaw, and I am a sucker for a good cover, and this beautiful fox was looking at me from W.H. Smith's and had to have it. And from what I know about it so far, it's about a world where nature fights back against humanity and all these trees disappear. And it's somewhere, there's a quote on the back somewhere. It's something somewhere between does for trees what Hitchcock did for birds. And with the fox, I was like, yeah, sold. Having that. Having a piece of that. And the next you can hear rapping. Oh, I haven't opened it yet. Just this lovely little sleeve. Basically, I bought a new copy of Robin Jarvis's The Woven Path. Let me float a picture of what it actually looks like here for you. And the reason I bought it is because my copy is battered because I've read it so much, and it was my favourite book as a kid, and I saw this on eBay and it's in such good condition, and I wanted the same cover from when I was a kid because it's been released in several other versions, but I wanted this version and I have bought it on eBay and I'm chuffed. I got it, can't wait. The Woven Path, brilliant trilogy, must talk to you about that. The next is this. Oh, I watched Stranger Things season 3 on Netflix this month, and it was just standout telly, and I loved it so much. And I saw this in Tesco. It's the first Stranger Things novel, and it's about this creepy man. It's a mysterious lab, a sinister scientist, and a secret history. And it just kind of, I was like, I love Stranger Things, and I have been kind of turned in a positive way to the lure, I can't say that, of a tie-in novel, and I love Stranger Things, fancied a bit of it, and it's 2 for £8 in Tesco, which isn't a bad buy. At the same time, I bought this by Ruth Ware. I like a bit of Ruth Ware, she's a good writer. I've read a couple of hers now, thrillery, really good. This is The Death of Mrs. Westaway, and it just spoke to me. I fancied reading her next book, and it's just, I don't know, it feels like a little bit of a twisty, creepy, dark little yarn, and I fancy a bit of that too. As I'm in the mood for a thriller, cannot pick up a thriller right now without devouring it. Speaking of, what do you think of that? Little segue to Jo Nesbo, the Redbreast. As you know, I'm a big Harry Hole fan. I know his name isn't Harry Hole, it's like Hule, Harry Hule, but it's written as Hole, and to me he'll always be whole, okay? This is Redbreast, and I love the vintage version of these that are being released. Sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but it's got lovely quality of paper. And I read the first last year, and it just was such a good crime novel that I wanted to read more this year, and I've bought a couple and I haven't got around to reading them yet, but I saw this, it was a decent price, I haven't got it, and I just had to get it to carry on. And in that vein, oh look at this bad boy, this is Knife. This is the most recent Jo Nesbo Harry Hole Harry Hole thrillers. It is the one that follows on from Thirst, which was last year, and I have been counting down the days to this being released because it was horrific. The last book was horrific, and it was creepy and just brilliant crime drama, and this is the next one, and I've never seen him in hardback before, so I saw it and thought, actually this is a reasonable price too, and I wanted it badly, so I had to go and buy it. I don't know much about it other than it carries on, and Jo is saying horrible things on social media about this one, saying things like, I've never taken Harry to anywhere as dark as this. I'm like, okay, I'm on board, Jo, I'm on board. And then my last little bit was, you know how I'm currently reading Stone Cold Heart by Kaz Frear? Well, I won a competition on Instagram, on Kaz's Instagram, and I won this hardback American version of Stone Cold Heart, which was just such a surprise, and I've never won anything before in my life. It was fab. I was really chuffed with it, and this version I'm going to keep like for best. You know, it's going to be on my shelf proudly whilst I'm reading the paperback and taking it everywhere with me. And I wanted to buy the paperback too because I am enjoying Kaz's writing, and she's relatively new on the scene of crime writing, and I wanted to support her. So I bought it too. But thank you very much for this, Kaz. I love it. And there's a lovely message inside. There's two. There's one little post-it, and then she's written a lovely little message on the inside too. So it's lush. Really happy. And that is my brief, boiling hot, everything bookish video for June and July 2019. Guys, I am going to now film for you, just for you, a wrap-up and a book haul. Oh, I know. You can't wait, can you? You can't wait. I can't wait. But I'm boiling. I need a drink. I'll see you in a few. Catch you on the flip. I don't know why I winked. I'm really, really out of practice of this. Awkward, nervous, achavi. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and head on over to my channel and hit the subscribe button. You will get videos every Tuesday and Friday from me, well, when normal life resumes. I'm buying a house, forgive me. But from now, you're going to get videos here and there. But, you know, quality content. Obviously, this, me, screams quality, don't you think? I think. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon. Bye.